ask you about how you've navigated taking care of people and your people over the past few years, and especially as we went to hybrid mode. But you know what? When I was thinking about the question originally, I was thinking that most or a large portion of your employees are in offices, but you probably also had a large percentage of your employees who didn't stop over the past few years, and they were part of those essential roles and delivering and just helping move the population. So I'm curious as to how you approached culture during that time, where you had some people who had to continue to go in, others who had the luxury, if you will, of working from home. And then how have you navigated that hybrid situation since then?
Um, for that piece, I would say that we allowed ourselves to evolve, right? So we allowed ourselves to pivot. Um, we leveraged humility, right? And saying we don't know all the answers, but what we do know, we'll make decisions and we'll pivot together if we need. So that was sort of the bedrock of how we went and we said we approached it. For us, the the people in the office, um, yeah, the people in the office, we did say, okay, well, with the government legislations, you can't be in the office and X, Y, Z, that was fine. But when we started, with can we start going back to the office? It was important for us to support and represent the other 80% of our workforce. So we said, how do we feel about someone being at home and our drivers are waking up at 4 a.m., sometimes 3 a.m., Lauren, right? To get their buses fueled, washed, so it could be on the road. So that person, that student that has an 8 o'clock exam that lives in Saint Eustache, that needs to be on the bus at 6:30, he's up and ready so that that person can ace their test, right? Um, so we said, listen, because of who we are, we would much rather that there is this hybrid at the very minimum at the office in a sense of solidarity, right? That being said, again, um, we talk to people. We need to have our relationship with people be very strong. So we asked, we said, how do you feel about coming to the office, right? How does your team feel about coming to the office? Because there was a point where this is what is good for me. Okay, great. But what about your unit, your team, right? Are people able to do their best work if you're home, right? So it wasn't this top-down organizational decision. It was, this is the spirit that we're trying to embody at Transdev. What does your team need? What do you need? Right? And then we sort of went from there. Other things that we did, I'm West African and we believe in food. I like food, right? So, we didn't want to have to decree that everybody needs to come to the office. So we incited, right? So we had breakfast Mondays. All you have to do is show up, right? Just get here. The rest we'll take care of. Just make it to the office. There'll be bagels, there'll be stuff. So just try, right? Just get here. On Wednesdays we had lunches, right? So we had different kind of lunches, so that, maybe your fridge is starting to empty out, right? So, or something. So Wednesday we had lunches. There were times during the year that we had ice cream machines over the summer, right? So it's just things that would encourage people to come back and have conversations with each other. And we felt that because we trust we have good people, because we trust the projects that we're doing, because, we push for, good working relationships. For if they come back, they'll remember. And so far they have. So we haven't had a need to do a kind of decree, right? And then lead by example, right? We're there. I'm there. My colleagues, other executives are there. So we're there. So why not? Why not come?
Well, I can personally attest to the fact that if an invitation says that food will be served, I show up to the office without fail.
Exactly. Exactly. And good food. Good food I've
Yeah,
had.
that makes a difference. Absolutely. And staying on the more personal note, and this is one of the main reasons why I absolutely wanted to have you on the resilience report, is that you're so passionate about everything that you do. And I'm curious if there was there a catalyst moment in your life where you knew that you wanted to be involved in sustainability and probably the full sense of the word in terms of having the social component and that human connection. I'm just wondering if there was a real moment that you can circle back to.
A real moment. I think it goes back to my volunteering days in university, right? Where I was on the, let's say the oscillating between, no, actually, it wasn't even oscillating. It was really understanding that I was arriving at the end of my love for clinical psychology. And, for those who are thinking about, their careers and what to do, one of the things that I did was to speak to a clinical psychologist and other psychologists, say, can you talk to me about your work environment, right? Can you talk to me about not the job, but the things that surround it? And I learned that, it was a lot of one-on-one. It was hard to travel because of your clients and stuff like that. And I'm like, the environment is not what I want. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to take my theories and go to another country and try it again, right? To see how good you are with those theories. Does it work? Does it not work in this culture? It was tougher to do that in with that profession. So I fell in love with organizational psychology and then later organizational development. And then this idea of legacy, right? This idea of big, this idea of helping many people at a time. And that's when it switched. That's when it said, I want to do something that is going to support many, many people at a time. I want to do something that when someone walks across my tombstone, like years from now, they'll be like, yeah, she was kind of awesome, right? And more than that, tell myself my tombstone will say Dr. Nketiah, because yes, I want a PhD, but I want them to see this weird last name, right? This name that looks foreign, right? And to be like, Doctor, awesome, cool. These foreign people are really awesome. That's it, right? So that is the thing I would like for myself, um, years from now. And why? Because I want it to be easier for the next group of people, right? Um, so that is what motivates me and how it connects to sustainability is that all of this doesn't matter if our planet blows up, Lauren, right? So really, that's it. So the beauty is that it's all connected. It's
Yeah.
all connected. So this idea that you need to pick if you're going to support left or you're going to support right or you're going to work on this thing, we need everybody working on different things to find the center. So, my center is that I want people to have better lives and the lives that they can lead that would feel good. Really doesn't matter if the planet doesn't make it. And when we look at what climate change is doing to migration, um,
100%.
and as a society, are we ready? Do we have that emotional intelligence to welcome someone who doesn't look like us? And what does welcome mean? And so on and so forth. So it's climate change is pushing, I find, a need for us to be better at managing emotional intelligence. So it's connected, but